down there at turn 6, Lee. Sorry to interrupt, but there was dust and stuff everywhere, and I thought we might have had a problem. It's Ritter who's gone off down there, and cars are going off on the gravel.
That's rolled.
It's rolled. There's obviously some rubbish on the road, and
it's Brad Jones
again.
Second race in a row, he's on his roof.
He'll be, this will be a frustration for Bradley, because he's been recovering in the last couple of weeks from the big one at Pukekohe, and this stunt will be getting a bit second-hand in his mind, and someone's gone to help. I think that's Paul Radisich, actually, that's gone to help. He was down there watching. And I think Bradley will be okay compared to the one in New Zealand. The problem is you've got to undo your belts and not actually end up dropping on the roof of the car.
Yeah.
You've got to unplug your radio, and then you've got to detach yourself from your drink bottle and your Hans device.
And this is an indication, an illustration of the camaraderie that exists in V8 supercars. Paul Radisich there, who was stranded. He was running in the top 5 in this race, ran off the circuit with his own problems, and now he's there trying to help. It's very different to what happened in Pukekohe, and at least it happened in the gravel trap.
He actually had a fair clip of speed up here, but it tripped over itself right at the very end. It was, in terms of the speed of the roll, it just fell over on itself. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Got my fingers crossed. But yeah, there he is. And
there's the rat, Paul Radisich, saying, "You okay, mate?" And Brad Jones is okay.
Who can make the jump? Bright gets a good initial bite. Alex Davison makes a stormer. Slots to the inside. That's massive. Oh, the slots on the grid. He was stalled on the grid and has been hit from behind.
That's
and Carl's moving, trying to get out of this car quickly. He's out of the car. That's good to see, because that has taken a massive hit from behind. The race is red flagged. And there's another car involved behind. It's really hard to pick up.
It's a Kelly car, I think.
Yeah, it was a black Commodore by the looks of things. Skaife, it's hard to see.
I think it's Todd Kelly's car.
He was starting right down the back.
gravel, what's going on? Look back in the pack. Carl stopped.
Oh,
man.
And Dave Reynolds pulled out of the way. Owen completely unsighted. He had no chance.
He had nowhere to go, did he?
And that's just punched straight into the fuel cell. It's split the cell. The fuel's been ignited, but there's a whole lot of electrical apparatus in the back of the cars. There's fuel pumps in there. There's power and batteries and things in there. And I don't think I've ever seen anything quite as ferocious on a start line in terms of front to rear impact.
At half-time, Whincup leads from Lowndes. Winterbottom, Bright, Coulthard and Alex Davison. How they stayed on the track in that last lap, I'll never know. Alex Premer.
Oh, here we go.
This is contact.
Oh, man.
Wide.
That is massive. That's 250 kilometres an hour. We haven't seen where Scott Pye finishes. There were 3 cars alongside each other. That is playing for keeps. That is fast. So one of the Jack Daniels cars were caught in the middle of that. I think it was Rick Kelly. It was 15 and 2. So 2 teammates of yesteryear, Rick Kelly and Garth Tander, on either side of Scott Pye. And young Scott Pye, what an initiation to this category. Wow, that was fast.
That was wild.
He has guy rated at 250 kilometres an hour. Here we go. So he's on the outside. He's run a little bit wide. Rick Kelly gets up the middle. Garth Tander pushes a little bit wide. They can't help but make contact at that point. And watch where this car goes. It runs over the infield and out of sight. Very lucky not to roll over. Look at that. That is 250 kilometres an hour. It's like Dukes of Hazzard stuff.
And airborne too.
How that thing didn't bite and flip is a modern miracle.
On the front row, Winterbottom versus Skaife. Behind them, it's Tander and Richards. Turn 1 is absolutely crucial. Look at Winterbottom. Does it easy into one, and again, a carbon copy between the teammates. Skaife and Tander caught together.
This time it's Tander who's managed to sneak up and put a move on Skaife, who I think's vulnerable. Richards and Skaife into the wall at turn 3. So the Castrol FPR Ford off the road together with the Holden Racing Team Commodore at turn 3.
Unbelievable. Mark Beretta just mentioned that Mark Skaife's been in the news this morning. He'd be just furious.
Well, not because he wanted to be, because of a nonsense article and some rubbish that was written. So I can tell you he's going nowhere.
Stephen Richards has rejoined on the circuit.
Okay. Boys, just with Tim Edwards from Ford Performance Racing, who's just trying to sort out what's happening with Stephen Richards' car at the moment. Tim, fair bit of argy-bargy in that first lap.
Yeah, obviously disappointing. You know, Richo clearly got the line through there, and you know, Skaife just didn't back off. But you know, we're trying to stay on the lead lap at the moment. Richo did a great job to actually get back out, so we'll come in, change that punctured tyre, and pull up on the back of the grid.
All right, mate. All the best.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, Tim will be a bit scattered down there at the moment. He'll be seeing these images because Stephen just had a spin. He's got that deflated left rear tyre. Here he is again in replay. Two cars side by side, can't get through that part of turn 3. Skaife's car makes very heavy impact with the wall. Richo's car may not be too bad, but the number 2 HRT car, it's going to be a mess.
He could be far enough around that this doesn't actually produce a...
Stephen Ellery.
Upside down. What is going on?
Well, that's at the end of turn 7 rather.
Is there something on the road down there, I wonder?
Maybe so. Or is that turn 1? No, that's turn 1. That is down the end of the main straight. And Stephen Ellery, watch this. Coming down the main straight here on the right-hand side of your screen, locks it up really, really early and backs it into the dirt. Now, watch this. Flip it over. Oh.
It's not a real heavy one, so Stephen should be okay. Obviously concerned as he looks down there at turn 1 to make sure that that car...
And Stephen Ellery's out. There is a whole army of safety cars ready to cross the track at turn 1.
He's fine, which
Get
is
to
good.
him. And he'll just sit down and take a breather.
And look at this front row. Ford's number 1 man. Holden's number 1 man. The revs rise here in the west. Race 2. Does Skaife get a good one? It's a drag race. Ambrose moves over on him. Skaife may just have enough. No, he doesn't. They touch. Oh, they touch big time.
2 of them are off. No one wanted to yield there, and so that's the day done for them. Ambrose is going to get away with it out to the outside on the firm ground. Skaife's buried.
Boy, oh boy. That was a real arm wrestle. And Skaife is now beached. That will bring out a full course yellow.
Stephen Richards will be, he'll be barely able to contain the laughter at the moment. Radisich 2nd, Murphy 3rd, Ingle 4th, Jason Richards, Cam McConville, Paul Morris, Stephen Johnson.
Skaife, you win, mate.
And Jason Barbagallo. Here's the Zinger replay. Let's have a look. Skaife had to double dip, as Greg said. It jumped, and then he relaunched it. Very hard from this angle to tell exactly where they are in relative terms to each other, but they've interlocked. Locked brakes. Marcus couldn't turn in, and the net result is that Marcus gassed it up and went round the outside. On board with Mark Skaife. Let's have a look here. He's down the right-hand corner. In fact, oh dear. So hard to work one like that out without all of the information. But he was at the right rear of Marcus's car, and Daryl's on the spot.
Yeah, Neil, I'm having a look at Marcus's car here. The damage, you see where the contact started. Looks like it started right at the front of Marcus's door there because the mirror's broken. So it's a fair way up the inside of that car.
We're getting ready. Green at the back. Here we go. Last race of the day. Last race for round 3. Lowndes will need to get away to a good one here. Seaton will be hungry for a win. In WA, away we go. Seaton gets a little crossed up off the line. Looks like a fairly even run. He's got him. Great start. Glenn Seaton will lead him into the first turn. Then there's contact.
Look, Dick Johnson.
He's turned sideways. Oh, no. No idea who hit him. They all try and dodge him the best they can.
Oh, they did too. Talk about threading the needle. Boy, oh boy, Dick Johnson's last appearance in WA, and that's not the way he wanted to get off. Darcy Russell in trouble there too. Here we go.
Oh, right. Now let's see if I can see a whack DJ up the back.
Oh, now someone hit
DJ up the backside, and then your guess is as good as mine.
But how lucky was he? Look at those cars. They're coming through at well over 100 kilometres an hour. And Johnson...
Watch. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
now, there's no doubt about that. That was a little bit of a surprise, wasn't it? So DJ...
Tell you what, he's
eyeballs nearly fell out of their sockets there too.
Look who's directly behind him. See who it is. Cameron
No, it's Tony Longhurst.
Tony Longhurst from the left there. Collided with Dick Johnson. McLean did a brilliant job to avoid contact there.
Well, that was a graphic indication of the impact there. You can see Dick Johnson.
Poor old JB nearly got involved in it as well.
And Dean Canto will be thrilled with a fine second if they stay as is. The hero of this race has been Stephen Richards in Jack's Black Rocket. There it is.
Important breakthrough for Team Kiwi as well. Oh!
Oh, he's been turned around. Canto has collided with Paul Radisich. He takes the win. Whoa! How about that for a finish? It's not over yet. There was, well, we assume there was contact unless Radisich leapt very awkwardly off that ripple strip at the end. And the Team Kiwi boys will not be pleased. Something's gone amiss there. Zinger replay.
Oh.
The Team Kiwi boys were applauding his victory a little too early. What happened?
Looks like they made nose-to-tail contact. I thought it was all over at that point, but
let's take a look at this.
Unfortunately, you know what? I think as Dean is ducked out to the right,
he's caught the right
He's caught
side.
the rear bumper of Paul's car, and that's turned him around.
And Canto's gone on to win in controversial circumstances.
Winterbottom coming up over the rise. And Garth Tander gets a whack for his troubles. So they're back on again.
That was a little bit of a
Oh, he's gone. Tander gets turned around by Reynolds. And Davison's in there as well. The championship leader, and there is a fire in car 2.
Bring it straight to the lane. Bring it straight to the lane.
Damage front left, I think, was flat on Will's car. Big problems here for Garth. It's ripped the oil cooler off and there's a fire.
It's actually seriously on fire. It might even be fuel fire under there.
There's a fire underneath, so the boys will be ready with the fire extinguisher when you get here.
A lot of damage to the front of
Think about your
Garth Tander's
firebomb.
car.
Think about your firebomb.
Series leader, Will Davison, in.
Carl, you need to get around that car. We need to clear that pit lane entry. Carl, you need to get around there. If we can clear that car off the pit lane entry road.
It's a result of qualifying down the order. Here's the other part of the story, Garth Tander.
Wow.
Here it is again in replay. This is the first lap, the run down to 7. The two of these guys getting stuck into it. And then Reynolds is the one that makes the contact with Tander. Watch at the apex, halfway up the side of the car. That's a bad angle for us to make a judgment call, but it was very awkward. Davison in sympathy spins. Amazing that the pack was able to get around.
I think someone must have hit the back of Davison. So this is on board now with Dave Reynolds. Here's the bumping duel, the Dodgem car antics with Winterbottom and Tander. And Dave Reynolds parks it right in behind his teammate and gets Tander. Tander's gone, but behind, someone must have hit the back of Davison. It may have been Craig Lowndes. Let's have a look at this again. This is Winterbottom. Dave Reynolds fills the hole. Tander turns across, and who gets him? No, it was Van Gisbergen turns Davison from behind.
In fairness, those that are at the back of the pack are in a complete concertina mess as Garth Tander heads back to the transporter to contemplate how things work the wrong way for him from pole.